America wants the death penalty for the first Guantanamo suspects tried for 9/11.
The whole building has collapsed.
The building has collapsed.
Nearly 3,000 were killed that day, and America's foreign policy changed for a generation. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the mastermind behind the attacks, and 5 others now face a trial.
These charges allege a long-term, highly sophisticated, organized plan by Al-Qaeda to attack the United States of America.
We'll be looking at why critics say the tribunals will not be fair. Also tonight, right message, wrong words. The Archbishop justifies his comments on Sharia law. One of the biggest ever art robberies, thieves in Switzerland make off with 80 millions of Impressionist paintings. And Mills versus McCartney, estranged in life, face to face in a court fight over Paul's millions.
In BBC London News, fighting for survival, the businesses struggling to cope after the fire at Camden Market. And Ken Livingstone gets on his bike with new plans for cycling superhighways.
Good evening. It was the deadliest strike on American soil. Today, 6 men have been charged with involvement in the September 11th attacks on New York and Washington. Prosecutors at the Pentagon will be asking for the death penalty. One of the men, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, is described as the mastermind behind the plot, planned as early as 1996. Nearly 3,000 people were killed that day, and as our North America editor Justin Webb reports, those events have shaped America's foreign policy ever since.
September the 11th, 2001 is etched on the consciousness of an American generation. It was a crime which caused death and injury on a massive scale, but also left mental scars on a nation that had felt safe and will never feel safe again. 9/11 led directly to wars, to retribution, and now, according to the White House, to justice.
Today, the convening authority for military commissions received sworn charges against 6 individuals alleged to be responsible for the planning and execution of the attacks upon the United States of America, which occurred on September the 11th, 2001. These attacks resulted in the death of 2,973 people, including 8 children.
6 men have been charged. The best known, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the alleged mastermind, and Ramzi bin al-Shibh, accused of being the link between al-Qaeda and the hijackers.
Each of the defendants is charged under the Military Commission Act with the crime of conspiracy and with the separate substantive offenses of murder in violation of the law of war, attacking civilians, attacking civilian objects, intentionally causing serious bodily injury, destruction of property in violation of the law of war, terrorism.
Osama bin Laden, the al-Qaeda leader, is not on the charge sheet. That is a bitter disappointment to many Americans who see him as the greatest target for justice or revenge. His name came up at the press conference, an interesting question and a frosty response.
So it's conceivable that one of these defendants could call Osama bin Laden as a witness.
I suppose. It's conceivable.
What happened here at the Pentagon and in New York changed America forever. No trial is going to alter that fact. But Americans are hungry for justice, and this at least is the beginning of that process. 184 people died in the Pentagon attack. There'll be grim satisfaction here that today's trial announcement was made in a room so close to where these scenes played out 7 years ago. The trials will be complex and imperfect. Americans know that, but hugely important as well. Justin Webb, BBC News, Washington.